Hey everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on Right Now Media. As we go through this, you might begin to get an idea about how you can use Right Now Media in your current ministry, or maybe there's something new that you're planning. In either case, I'd invite you to just pause the video if an idea comes to you and write that thing down, because if you're anything like me, you'll forget it. Some of you may even be wondering what the heck Right Now Media even is. Well, I found that the easiest way to explain it is that it's basically the Netflix of Christian Bible studies, with over 10,000 videos for kids and adults. And who's it for? This is really available to anyone who wants it. The idea here is to equip families, resource groups, and develop leaders. And our hope is that this will be used as a discipleship tool to help people in their process of becoming more like Christ. Just to quickly mention a few applications, possible applications: provide small groups, Bible studies, a Sunday school, men's group, these sorts of things with really high quality video resources. We're looking to equip families with content that strengthens marriages, can provide positive entertainment for kids. But it's cool because you can just throw it on an iPad for long trips in the car and, keep the kids occupied in the back seat, which is always a good thing. There is also an app available for your mobile devices. So there's a bunch of ways to use it, like I mentioned, on an iPad in the car. I will just mention that because this is a streaming service like Netflix, Wi-Fi or a hardline connection is preferable. But if you have a good 3G or 4G signal, you can stream this as well. I've used this on an iPad in a Sunday school, and it worked out pretty well. So there's a lot of different ways to make it work. And if all else fails, some of the videos are downloadable, and I'll show you later where to find that content. Okay, so if you don't already have a free Right Now Media account, the first thing you're going to want to do is sign up for one. Now, if you already do have one, you can just skip over this section. But if you don't, you can do that by, well, let's first of all open up our browser. I'm using Google Chrome. I'm going to type in saconnects.org. Hit enter. Over here on the right, there's the little search icon. We're going to type in Right Now Media, hit enter, and scroll down to the second post where it says Right Now Media in the Salvation Army. Let's click on that. And here you'll find a 2-minute introduction video to Right Now Media, and you can watch that if you like. There's also a brief description here of what Right Now Media is all about. And down here is what we're interested in, these red links, what we call direct links. The way we've set up Right Now Media in the territory is that each command has its own account. So for example, if I'm from New Jersey and I want to sign up for a Right Now Media account, I just click on New Jersey. And that brings me to the sign up page where it's going to ask me to enter some basic information: first name, last name, email, set up a password, basic information. And then down here at the bottom, it asks you about some ministry interests. What this is all about is they're just trying to get a sense of what kind of content are you interested, because what they'll do is once in a while send you an email with some content related to that. So if you're an officer, you might want to click on this one where it says pastors, because that's all about leadership development materials designed with pastors in mind. Or maybe you have a men's group or you're interested in those sorts of things. Just click there. Click to agree to the terms of use, and then hit next. And that's pretty much it. Once you've got that set up, you'll be ready to begin using Right Now Media. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go back to our search bar, type in rightnowmedia.org, and hit enter. And this just brings us to the login page. Before we log in though, I just want to bring your attention to one thing. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, right under here under this information column, there's an area where it says Help Desk. If you click there, that will bring up the FAQ page. There's also some tutorial videos here. And over here on the right, there's some contact information for Right Now Media. There's a phone number, an address, email address. I've used this a couple times when I've run into difficulties, and they've been really good about getting back to me within usually a few hours, but definitely within the day. So I just wanted to let you know about that in case you get stuck. Even before you're able to log in, you have that available to you. So let's go back. Go to the top of the page, and let's log in. Okay, what we're looking at now is the Right Now Media homepage. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's over 10,000 videos available here, so learning how to navigate through all this content is really critical. To begin doing that, I think maybe a good place to start is to just go across this white ribbon at the top of the page here. If we click on Libraries, that's going to bring up these 29 categories that Right Now Media has set up for us to begin to start filtering through all the content. And you can see here they're pretty self-explanatory. All Bible studies, all kids episodes, downloadable video illustrations. Those are the ones I mentioned before. Let me just click on that to show you. So everything here is downloadable. So you don't need to stream this if you have no signal, say in the chapel, and you need to use some kind of video element for a sermon illustration or something like that. These are good for that. And there's some really good ones in here. Marriage, funny youth illustrations. It's worth just spending some time going through here. There's usually something that will work for any topic. Let's go back to the Libraries tab and go through some more of those categories. Right Now Media Originals, Parenting, Youth, Marriage, Men, Women, Small Groups, Pastors, Leadership, Christian Living, Work, Biblical Finance, Mission and Outreach, History, Holidays, Evangelism, Recovery, Mental Health. I know you guys can read, I just figured it's good to familiarize yourself with what's here. College and Singles, Popular Teacher, Books of the Bible, Apologetics. Who doesn't love some good apologetics? So that's pretty much that. Just going over one to the right here, this little icon says Kids. This is where you're going to find all the younger kids content, and there's quite a bit on here. It's all a bunch of cartoons and stuff like this. We've used these in Sunday school, in United Sunday School, with a lot of success. Particularly, we've used this one, What's in the Bible. Those are fun. Veggie Tales. Let's say, oh, Bose. I don't know what that is, but I'm kind of interested in it. I can click over here where it says See All, and that will pull up all the Bose episodes, and I can take a look and see if there's anything there that works for me. And we can play any of these just by clicking on them. And that opens it up. And we're not going to hear audio because of the way I have my computer set up, but you would hear that if you were playing this. Okay. Now, next to where it says Kids is the search icon. I think everyone by now understands how these things works. Let's say I'm doing a Sunday school and I want to do a study on Jonah. We're talking about Jonah that week. Just type in Jonah. And that's going to bring together all of the content on Jonah within Right Now Media. And you can see it further categorizes it for me. Here it says there's 3 Bible studies, 5 kids series, and a couple of video elements. So we can click on those. This looks like Gumby, so that's interesting. But let's say I want to do one on salvation. I can type that in. You can see there's a lot more results here. It's 292. But I can begin to filter through by using these additional filters that they provided here. So again, if I'm working with kids, I'll click here. And that brings up everything related to salvation for kids. Now, when I say kids, I mean younger kids, right? They're going to be into cartoons. If you have some young adult types, they're probably not going to be too interested in these. Oh, look at this. There's the William Booth story. Torchlighters. There's one in Spanish. There's one in English. So that's fun. Okay, so that's the search bar. Now, at any time, if you want to just go back to the home page, just click right here where it says Right Now Media in orange at the top. Boom, brings you back to the home page. Okay, And just moving right across the top of the page, you can see here it says contacts. We don't need to be concerned with that. That's more of an administrator sort of thing. Okay, let's go on and click on where it says My Profile. You can see there's a lot of options that drop down here. We don't need to be concerned with all of these, but there are a few things I want to bring your attention to. My Queue, we'll talk about that more in a minute. We can skip over Inbox for now. Let's click on My Profile. And here's where you can update your personal information. This is a lot of the same things they asked you for when you signed up. But you can change your password here, and you can adjust your ministry interests. So let's say that you're no longer doing a Sunday school, but you run a small group in your home. You might want to change that preference by just clicking there, saving the profile, and that'll update the content that they're sending to you. Okay, let's go back to the home page by clicking up here where it says Right Now Media. Now over here on the left side of the page are all those same categories we looked at before when we clicked on the Libraries tab. The reason they do that is to just make things easier for you to find. Okay, but let's look at a particular study now. Let's say I'm doing a youth group and I've heard good things about this guy, Francis Chan. So let me go to the search bar, type in Chan, hit enter, and you can see here there's 114 results, 21 Bible studies, 23 customizable trainings, some conference sessions, video elements, but I'm interested in the Bible studies. And I don't really like the looks of any of these ones. I can scroll over by using this orange arrow. And here we go, Forgotten God. I've heard of that one. You can see when I hover over the study, a pop-up window comes up giving me a brief description. And you can see right here in blue it says Add to Queue. I'm going to talk more about that later, but for now, let's just click on the study. Now this is pretty typical what you see here for the different studies that you'll find in Right Now Media. It will usually bring up a 1 to 2 minute trailer so you can get an idea of, is this right for my group? But then scrolling down, we can see there's some other things here. There's again that same description. Beneath that, they will have either links to where you can buy the accompanying media for the study. So for this one, there's a book, there's a DVD, and there's a workbook. And if you click here, this just links through to the Amazon site where you can purchase those things. On many of the studies, these things are available for free download. It really depends on the study. All you have to do is just click on them, see what's available. If it says it's downloadable, you click there and you can just download it. Sometimes it's mixed. Some things are free, other things are available for purchase. You just need to go and take a look. You can see here there are 7 videos in this study. Each one is, let's see, ranging from about 11 minutes to 5 minutes. So if you have a half an hour with a group, this might be a good option because the videos aren't too long. You can watch a 10-minute video and then have 20 minutes of discussion. Now over here where it says Add to Queue, let's click on that. And that gives me a little indication that I've successfully added that to my queue. What does that mean? Well, let's go back over here to where it says My Profile. Click on where it says My Queue. And what it's done is that it's populated my queue with that study. I've already had another one in here, Crazy Love by Francis Chan. This is really helpful when you're going through Right Now Media. There's a ton of content, and instead of going back and forth and saying, oh, which ones are good, you can just say, oh, this might work, let me put it in my queue. That brings them all together so that later on, they're all in one place, and then I can begin to go through and say, what's the best material for my group? I found that to be a really helpful feature, so I want to point that out. Let's go back. And just going right across the top here, see there's a little Facebook icon. If I click there, this will allow me to post this study to a Facebook page. So for example, my small group has a Facebook page, and we've used this to share content with each other, saying, hey guys, check this out. And right here, it gives you the option to share in a group. type in the group name. Return of small group is my small group. And then you can just post that to Facebook if you want. So we've used that. That's kind of helpful. You can do the same thing here with Twitter. If you click books and workbooks, all that does is scroll you down here to where that stuff is available that I showed you before. Over here, they put this on every study so that you don't have to go around searching for it. If you click on here where it says Roku, this brings up instructions how to connect your Roku to your TV. I've never used that because I don't have a Roku. But it's the same kind of thing here with Apple TV, giving you some instructions how to hook up a Mac or an iPad or an Apple TV to use Right Now Media. So there's a lot of different ways you can use it, mobile, computer, etc. They just put that there for your convenience. Like I said, we've used this at my core for United Sunday School, regular Sunday School, small groups. We've used video elements in the meeting. A friend of mine with 3 girls I know watches things regularly at home. I think you can see by now that there's a lot of potential applications here. All right, well, that about covers it. I hope that was helpful to you in some way. If it was, or maybe you thought it was terrible, or I didn't answer some of your questions, I'd ask that you please just click here and take a 1-minute survey. That's going to help us do better in future trainings. If you have any questions or run into any problems, please go ahead and contact your Divisional Lay Leadership Secretary. They're the local content experts in your division. And I'm going to put their contact information on the screen here. And I'm going to add my own information too. Feel free to reach out to me with anything. And that's about it. All right, everyone, thanks. Have a great day.